As South Africa prepares for the possible return of El Niño conditions, farmers say they are not pressing the panic button. AgriSA says technology, improved weather information and experience are helping farmers prepare for a potentially drier season.
Technology helped us to understand the circumstances that's going to come and to adopt accordingly.
Farmers are adjusting planting times, using improved genetics and irrigation, and adapting their farming practices to manage the impact of below average rainfall. But dry conditions could bring another serious risk, which is veld-fires. The South African Weather Service says fewer rainy days, higher temperatures and windy conditions can create conditions in which fires spread rapidly.
What fires need is windy conditions as well as dryness. And because you have less days of precipitation as well as increased days of dry conditions, which means the fynbos then would be burnt enough for it to catch fires quickly.
Source says the risk could increase across parts of the central and eastern interior, including the Free State, Northwest, Gauteng, KwaZulu-Natal and Mpumalanga.
Those conditions that you mentioned, less rainfall, high temperatures, as well as windy conditions are factors that increase the likelihood of fire danger.
In Tshwane, emergency services are already preparing for the possibility of an increase in grass fires, particularly in areas with large stretches of vegetation and grassland.
We have done stakeholder coordination with other stakeholders and to ensure as well that we have the necessary resources at stations to respond to grass fires, because we know that most areas that are around rural areas or vegetation would have grass fires when it's hotter and the winds are becomes higher.
Tshwane Emergency Services says Bronkhorstspruit, Hammanskraal, Amandaseg and Centurion are among the areas it will closely monitor as summer season approaches. AgriSA says farmers are already assessing their individual risks and putting mitigation measures in place.
The main thing is to understand the circumstances that we might face in 2, 3, 4 months from now, and then have a look at it and see what you can do and how to mitigate the risk.
Source is urging communities to monitor warnings, maintain fire breaks, and avoid leaving open flames or cigarette butts in dry, windy areas.
Make sure that you have fire breaks, but more than anything, make sure that you don't leave fire sources open, because if you leave a fire source open or you start a fire unnecessary, if there are any chances of windy conditions around that area, anything may catch, even your buildings.
Emergency services are also warning residents not to attempt to fight grass fires themselves, as strong winds can quickly change the direction of the fire.
Do not immediately want to deal with a grass fire, because with the winds it can change direction very quickly. Call emergency services on 107. But what people can do, we also have been speaking to people that had vegetation to have fire breaks. Those would assist in case of any fire. But if there's a grass fire, please call us immediately and don't attempt to fight that fire.
Residents with properties bordering grasslands are also encouraged to create fire breaks. Johannesburg Emergency Management Services says its jurisdiction is predominantly urban and it does not face the same rural and grassland fire challenges associated with El Niño. Ekurhuleni Emergency Services could not be reached for comment. For farmers and communities in high-risk areas, the message is to prepare early, use available information and adapt rather than panic.
Don't fear, don't go into a panic mode. But in the same sense, I also need to say, be wise in the way that you farm.
Ofentse Sitimo, SABC News, Pretoria.